Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Saturday, July 19th, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Saturday in Major League Baseball. First up, we've got the San Francisco Giants taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. We've got Eric Lauer for Toronto, but no official starter right now for San Francisco. That's going to be the case for a few games for the Saturday card. Like I mentioned, this first weekend of games back from the All-Star break is a little bit challenging when you're looking at pitching information. These managers still trying to strategize on what they're going to do for the start of the second half of the season. But when you look at this matchup, Eric Lauer's pitched really well with Toronto. The Giants have not done much against lefties in the last couple of months. I think Lauer puts together a good outing. I think the Blue Jays lineup can back him up. I'm going to roll the Toronto Blue Jays in the money line in this one. Next up, we've got the Cincinnati Reds taking on the New York Mets. We've got Nick Martinez and Clay Holmes as the starters. Now, I mentioned I really wasn't in love with the form that Holmes was in going down the stretch before the All-Star break. His control's off a little bit, and I'd like to see him sharpen up to start this second half of the season. But Nick Martinez on the road, I just can't back Cincinnati in this spot. He has not been, the Reds have just not done well in his road starts this season. Now, they've won 4 of his last 5 games, but a majority of those wins were at Great American on the road against the Mets team. It's been great against right-handed pitching lately. I've got to roll with the New York Mets with their team total over and the Mets to win this game on the money line. Next up, we've got the Royals and the Marlins. We've got Cal Quantrill for Miami, but no official starter right now for KC. Now, Quantrill wasn't his best in his last game before the All-Star break, but he was pitching really well before that. He had given up 3 runs or fewer in 4 straight games. His strikeout numbers were starting to improve, and he still had 5 Ks in 5 innings in that last start against Cincinnati. But that was on the road at Great American, very hitter-friendly ballpark. He returns home here for this start where he's been better on the season. He's been a serviceable option. He's been able to give the Marlins some decent innings and keep them competitive in a lot of games. The Marlins have won 4 of his last 5 games, so for me, I think the Marlins offense has proven to be more consistent than the Royals in the last month or so, especially against right-handed pitching. I'm going to side with the Marlins in this one on the money line at Lone Depot. Next up, we've got the Angels and the Phillies still waiting for a starter for Los Angeles, but we should see Taijuan Walker going for Philadelphia. That's enough for me to take the Angels in this spot. Walker in his last game, his last start before the All-Star break, actually pitched pretty well. It still ended up being a Phillies loss in the end, 4-3. I just don't think Walker is a viable starting pitching option at the major league level. I think he'd be much better suited out of the bullpen, where he was for a little while for Philadelphia. But I think we see the Angels get on the board early, especially, Walker's given up some sharp contact this year. This is a powerful Angels lineup. I think we see a lot of extra base hits from the Angels. Give me the Angels on the money line. Next up, we've got the White Sox and the Pirates. We've got Adrian Houser and Mike Burrows as the starters. Now, I do think Mike Burrows does have a lot of potential, but potential alone is not going to get it done for me with the Pirates and their offensive woes this season when you're going up against a starter like Adrian Houser, who's just been very, very solid. I mean, I didn't expect this from Houser going into the year. A 5-2 record, 1.56 ERA. I mean, the White Sox have won his last 4 games. This is one of the worst records in baseball in terms of the White Sox team, and yet they've won 4 straight Houser starts, including 2 wins over the Toronto Blue Jays, one of the hottest teams in baseball. So Houser, he's given up 3 runs or fewer in 5 straight games. Like I said, Burrows, I think eventually could be a really good option in this Pirates rotation, but his last game before the All-Star break was miserable. And even if he's just okay in this game, with how well Houser's been and with how poor the Pirates offense has been, I think that could be enough for a White Sox victory. So give me Chicago in this one on the money line. Next up, the San Diego Padres taking on the Washington Nationals. We got Yu Darvish and Mitchell Parker as the starters. Now, I'm not really in love with the idea of taking the Padres at this kind of price on the road, but for me, we saw this from Yu Darvish last year. He returned from a big injury. His first couple games weren't great, but then he got much better form, and he was sharp the rest of the regular season. Darvish, his first 2 games back from the injury, they weren't great. I mean, he's got an ERA just below 6.5 now in his first 2 starts. But I still think he is going to be a great option in this Padres rotation. I think the Padres have the big pitching advantage in this series, in this game. Mitchell Parker, a lefty, facing a Padres team, it's not been great against lefties, but Parker has really struggled, going into the All-Star break. He gave up 11 earned runs his previous 2 outings. The Nationals have lost 3 of his last 5 games, including 2 straight. I just think that Parker struggles enough for the Padres to pick up the win in a lower scoring game. I'm going to side with San Diego in this one on the money line and run line. Next up, we've got the Orioles and the Rays. We've got Dean Kramer and Zach Littell as the starters. And these two teams played 2 different series against each other in the month of June. One in late June, one in the middle of the month. And both these starting pitchers pitched in both of those series. We saw Kramer really pitch well, and both had good outings, but Kramer was even more impressive. A combined 12 innings of 1-run ball, 10 strikeouts in 2 5-1 Orioles victories, one at Steinbrenner Field, one at Camden Yards. Littell was opposite Kramer in the game on June 17th, giving up 7 base hits, a home run, and 3 earned runs in that 5-1 Orioles win. The next start, though, at Camden Yards, Littell was a lot better, 7 innings, 1 run, but yet again, another home run. We've seen a lot of home runs given up from Littell this year. With how well Kramer's been against the Rays and the fact that the Orioles lineup still has a lot of power in that lineup, it gets right into pitching, I worry about Littell a little bit more in this matchup. I know Kramer's been better at Camden Yards overall this season, but I honestly think he could be the better option right now in his current form compared to Zach Littell. So I'm going to roll with the Orioles in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Athletics and the Guardians. We've got Luis Severino and Logan Allen as the starters. Now, Logan Allen really quietly put together 5 solid outings in his last 5 games for the All-Star break, where it was 3 runs or fewer in 5 straight games, and it was a quality start in his last 3 games, 6 innings of 3 earned run ball or fewer, good strikeout numbers, decent control, and the Guardians didn't always back him up. In fact, in 2 of those last 3 games where they were quality starts, the Guardians got shut out and lost 7-0 and 1-0. But I think that this is a spot where the Guardians can find some offense against Severino. I think Allen continues to pitch pretty well. I think the Guardians have the bullpen advantage, so I'm going to side with Cleveland in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Braves and the Yankees. We've got Joey Wentz for Atlanta, but no official starter right now for New York. Now, Joey Wentz did pitch pretty well in his first start as a Brave, his last game on July 12th. 3 innings, 6 strikeouts out of the bullpen, no runs, and a 7-6 Braves win. But he was struggling before when he was a member of the Twins. I don't think he's a great, starting pitching option, especially against the Yankees, who have been great against left-handed pitching. So while we're still waiting for the starter for the Yankees, I do expect the Yankees to have a big day offensively against Joey Wentz. I'm going to side with the Yanks on the money line for now on the road. Next up, we've got the Red Sox and the Cubs. We've got Brian Bayo and Shota Imanaga as the starters. Now, I mentioned that I kind of have regression concerns for both these starting pitchers when you look at their underlying numbers, but I got to say, Brian Bayo, as of late, has been pretty impressive with the fact that he's missing some more bats. He's had 15 strikeouts his last 15 and third innings. He's given up 3 runs or fewer in 5 straight games. His control's been better. The home run ball's, concern here and there, but the Red Sox have won his last 3 games, and I know this is a tough matchup against the Cubs. They've been one of the best lineups against righties all season long, but the Red Sox have also been really strong against lefties for the most part in 2025. I just think this is a game where we're getting such a good price with Boston. I think this is almost an even matchup, kind of a coin flip situation. So I'm going to take the plus money all the time in these types of situations. I know the Cubs are a popular team. A lot of people like to bet them, but I think the Red Sox are the play in terms of value. Next up, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. We got Sonny Gray and Ryan Nelson as the starters. Originally, we thought Gray was going to go on Friday. He's moved to Saturday. I still have my concerns with his game on the road this season. He's been a little bit better in his last couple of road games, but even his last game against the Pirates on the road, 6 1/3 innings, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. That's not going to get it done against this Diamondbacks team. This is a good lineup against right-handed pitching. Ryan Nelson's been a good starting pitching option, and while I don't love this Diamondbacks bullpen, I've mentioned I think St. Louis's bullpen is also kind of overrated, so I'm going to roll with the Diamondbacks in this one on the money line. We've got the Minnesota Twins taking on the Colorado Rockies. We've got Antonio Senzatella for Colorado, but no official starter right now for Minnesota. I think the Twins have a big day offensively in this one. Senzatella, we've mentioned many times this season, not one of the starting pitching options we're looking to back in this Rockies rotation very often. He's got a 6.75 ERA at Coors Field, 2-6 record to go with it. The Rockies have lost his last 3 games. I think Minnesota, this is a big series for them. I think their offense shows up in this game against Senzatella and this Rockies bullpen that had a good start to the season, but it's kind of faded off a little bit as the season continues. And in terms of projected WAR, they are near the very bottom of the league, while the Twins are the opposite. I think this is one of the best bullpens in baseball. So give me the Twins in this one on the money line and run line. Next up, we've got the Brewers and the Dodgers. We've got Freddie Peralta and Emmett Sheehan as the starters. Now, it might be very tempting to take the Brewers in this game. With how well Freddie Peralta's been, they've won his last 5 starts, including a game against these Dodgers. 6 innings of shutout baseball, 7 strikeouts in a 9-1 blowout win. And we've seen some blowout wins for the Brewers with Peralta on the mound. 8-1, 9-1, 7-2, 9-3 final scores in his last 4 games. And those were against the Mets on the road, the Dodgers. So we've seen Peralta really step it up here as the Brewers try to get into that division lead in the NL Central. But I do think that the advantage goes to the Dodgers. The fact that they're facing Peralta for the second time in about 10 days, while Sheehan did not pitch in that series against the Brewers. He's pitched pretty well so far, though, in his first 3 games at the major league level this year. 13 1/3 innings, 13 strikeouts, and just 3 runs given up. You could argue he's faced some weak lineups, the Giants and the Padres, but he also faced the Astros, who've been one of the best lineups in baseball against righties, and he went 5 innings of 1-run ball in that one. I'm going to roll the Dodgers in this one. I think they can get to Peralta for a few runs the second time around. The Astros and the Mariners, we've got Lance McCullers Jr. and Logan Evans as the starters. Now, McCullers is a tough pitcher to read because while he's had some really good outings, and we've also seen him struggle, usually in those starts where he does struggle, it's not just 3-4 runs in a few innings, and it's just not his day. We've seen him get absolutely crushed. We saw that in the first inning against the Reds back on May the 10th, where he wasn't able to get out of the first inning. He gave up 8 runs against the Cubs on June 28th in 3 1/3 innings. We saw him give up 5 runs in just 3 innings against the Rangers in his most recent start. So those 3 outings really are the big reason why his ERA is above 6 on the season. Outside of that, he's been very competitive. The thing is, though, even if McCullers struggles, as long as it's not a complete unravel of a start, I think that the Astros are going to back him up. I don't think Logan Evans is that much of a challenge for the Astros hitters on the other side. When you got a 3.75 ERA, but a 5.39 expected ERA, I expect big-time regression from Evans as the season continues, and we even saw that before the All-Star break against the Yankees. 4 2/3, 6 runs, and 2 home runs given up by Evans. So I think he struggles in this one. I think McCullers will be okay, just like he was in that game against the Mariners back on May 22nd. He was 4 1/3 innings of 2-run ball. Not amazing, but 8 strikeouts to go with it in a 9-2 Astros win. They really backed him up. I think that's going to be the case in this one. Lean towards the over and the Astros in this one on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Saturday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the experts tab at pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, Romanelli, good luck.